Welcome back to Make Play Treasure. Hoo ha ha ha. Today we're reading Dylan the Villain by K.G. Campbell. Mr. and Mrs. Snivels were minding their own business when they happened to have a baby. "Congratulations," said the doctor. "It's a healthy little supervillain." Mrs. Snivels was quite surprised. "There aren't any villains in the family," she said. "Or are there?" Mr. Snivels didn't say anything, but there totally were. Grandpa Snivels is a regular villain. Great-great-grandpa Snivels is a bad un. Aunt Winifred Snivels is a rotten apple. Cousin Sylvester Snivels is a rogue. Sissy and Sid Snivels are scoundrels. And Dylan Snivels is a super villain. The new parents named their little boy Dylan. They discovered that supervillain babies are much like any others. They don't like bedtime. They throw their food. They can even be allergic to everyday stuff like purple parsnip preserves. But, by and large, Dylan's parents figured he was just about the best thing ever. Dylan's supervillain costume, they said, is super scary. Wahahaha! Dylan's supervillain laugh, they insisted, is super crazy. Dylan's supervillain inventions, they boasted, are extra supervillainous. You, they told Dylan, are the very best and cleverest supervillain in the whole wide world. And Dylan totally agreed. Until he went to school. Astrid Rancid's Academy for the Villainous and Vile. Sure, Dylan's costume was scary, but Addison Van Malice's was bone-chilling. She has blue hair. Who has blue hair? And yes, Dylan's laugh was crazy, but Addison's Van Malice's was bananas. Moo-ha-ha-ha. And Dylan's inventions were certainly super villainous, but Addison Van Malice's were demonic. Honestly, grumbled Dylan, the way people act around here, you think that I'm not the very best and cleverest supervillain in the whole wide world. He vowed to prove that he was. His chance came one day when Miss Slither announced a contest. "This hideous trophy," she declared, "will be awarded to the pupil who creates the most diabolical robot. Principal Sinister will be the judge." Each pupil was given a box of parts from the diabolical robot supply closet. "That hideous trophy," vowed Dylan, "will be mine. Oh, mine." Dylan worked feverishly late into the night. He sawed and he hammered. He screwed and he glued. He painted and he polished. By midnight, Dylan had built a robot. In the morning, Dylan gave his parents a demonstration. "Look," he said, "it has telescopic arms. It has monster claws. It even has an astroplasm cannon." "That," said Mr. and Mrs. Snivels, "is the very best, most diabolical robot in the whole wide world." And Dylan totally agreed. Until he went to school. Sure, Dylan's robot was diabolical. In fact, it was more diabolical than anyone else's. Except one. "It has a freeze. Look," said Addison Van Malice. "It has titanium armor and evil laser eyes. It has a freeze ray and a shrink ray. It even has a cockpit and supersonic rockets for space travel." "What does this do?" said Dylan. When Principal Sinister arrived, Dylan's robot was the most diabolical in the class. "Where's Addison Van Malice?" said the principal. "We don't know," said everyone. And that was quite true. Dylan won the hideous trophy. It was a little sticky. But Dylan didn't care. He cuddled it all night. Unfortunately, the sticky, hideous trophy gave Dylan an allergic reaction. It was almost like someone had put purple parsnip preserves on it. On purpose. That, said Mr. and Mrs. Snivels, is the very ugliest, most uncomfortable looking allergic reaction in the whole wide world. And Dylan totally agreed. The end. Remember to like and subscribe so you can keep up with all of the fun reading events and activities. And you never know, maybe we'll get part 2 of this book. Have a great day.